Do, 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 do. Hello, how you doing? I'm doing this while I'm in the yard at Prince's, you know what I mean? So it doesn't really make any difference. It's okay, it's fine. Right then, ugh. Here we go. Just grinding my thing in first. You've already got me and front because the hinges are too high on this one. I couldn't be bothered. But we're going to go home. It's going to be a long drive. Oh, I forgot what it's like to have a long day out. First day back after having 5 days off, and it's going to be a fucking 13.5, 14 hour day. Happy fucking days, eh? Fucking love it. Like a douse of the piles, really do, honestly. But hey, whatever. Such is life. Son of a bitch. Those lights aren't friendly, are they? We're up in Bradford. We're going back to Cannock. I'm going down the M1 because apparently there was on the matrix on the way up here it says 75-minute delay between 22 and 19. I'm thinking, oh, what could that be? Somebody had a boo-boo. It's more than likely the reason, isn't it? You know what I mean? That's what tends to happen, isn't it? It's like, I can't drive, crash bang wallop! That's what happens. Sorry, but that's just the thing. It's the norm of today. Yeah. I was talking earlier on my phone vlog, as I do, about the state of the driver's situation in this country, and it's moved up to 60,000 and like oh dear, it'll be 60,001 if I had my fucking way. Stupid is that stupid does. We all know the rules of the box, don't we? Yes. Some people tend to forget the rules of the box. Shall we remind them, shall we? You cannot enter the box if you are going straight on. If the traffic in front of the box, or the other side of the box, if you want to put it in that category, right? The other side of the box is up to the back of the box, and you can't fit there, then you don't go there. You wait. And if it's at a set of traffic lights, the traffic lights will have to go back to red and then back to green again until there's space the other side of the box. When can you enter the box and stay in the box? You can only enter a box and stay in the box if you are turning right at those particular junction traffic lights or whatever. Do you understand? Have you got it? I thought you might. Of course you lot do. You already watched this channel. You've already been taught. You know it anyway. You're clever. At least I fucking hope you are. trying to encourage young drivers, or young people should I say, come and have a career as a lorry driver. Well, you've fucked that up straight away, haven't you, when you think about it? Career. Since when is driving a truck a career? It's not a career, it's just a job. A career is where you make advancements through your fucking productivity and learning new skills. You can learn new skills as a lorry driver. Well, I've got no qualms on that, quite easily. You say, how's that, Jace? Well, you go and pay for it yourself. Or if you're lucky, you'll have a company that will put you through these certain fucking skills. Like an ADR, for argument's sake. If you want an ADR, well, first of all, you need a fucking licence. Ta-da! Got one. Then you've got to spend a couple £100 more to go and get yourself an ADR. I think, I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on this one, but I think it's around about £500 to £700 depending. I think. But either way, that's a lot of money to somebody who ain't got that kind of money. And as far as I know as well, these days, I think it was already made apparent on the old Facebook thingamajig that I'd talked about. It's now £3,000, right, to pass your HGV. That's class 1 and class 2. But the thing they do obviously make apparent is that if you fuck up and fail your first test, there's another 200 odd, I think it's 250, may even be 260, I'm not sure now, on top of that, because you've got to ticket again. So can you imagine failing your test a couple of times and you've just lost another £500? It's like, what the fuck? And you're thinking, is it really worth it? And then when you actually get your licence, then what happens? Now you've got to search for a job. And the first thing they ask for is, how many years experience have you had? And you go, I passed my test last week. Oh, sorry mate, we can't do anything for you at the minute. You need experience before we can give you a job here. And then, and somebody ought to turn and say, well, how can I get experience if I can't get a job to drive a fucking truck? Have you thought of that one? Have you boffins out there come up with an idea around that little fucking loophole? I've spent all this money buying a fucker. So what you have to do is you have to find those companies that are willing to take the new drivers, and if they're willing, then do your best to learn as much as you can and hope that you're not just chucked a set of keys and say, yeah, I'll get on with it, because that's not, that is just wrong, right? That's where bad driving comes in, right? That's where bad habits come about. Realistically, when they mentioned about bringing in apprentice side of things for all forms of industry, and HGV company, general haulage, is not amongst that. It's like, well, why not? Why not? Why not have, let's say, an 18-year-old, because that's how old they can drive a fucking truck with a CPC, and don't get me started on that shit, because that's just bonkers. But anyway, but in this respect, if you say you had an 18-year-old who wanted to drive a truck, right, he can quite happily drive a vehicle of this nature as long as he's passed his class 2. But obviously he's got to pass the class 2 first. So you start off with the class 2, you stick him in the driver's seat with a wonderful gentleman or a lady over there who is competent, with L plates on, and take him through the thing, or take her through the thing, and show him the ropes and show her the ropes. You know what I mean, you got the gist of it. But you do this over a period of months before, right, before they've even started, so they can just enjoy the getting used to, get comfortable, get interested, like, you know what I mean, and do it fucking properly. But now you have to go out there, get yourself a license on your own bat most of the time, if not fucking 99% of the time, and then when you've done that, you have to then get yourself the second part of the license, because it's, how can I put it, you are a learner from the car, right? Into a class 2, you are classed as a learner. Once you've passed your class 2, you are no longer a learner. All you're doing is extending the category. So get that in your head. Remember that. You are no longer a learner once you've passed class 2. You should know it all, as my instructor told me. You know what to do. You've just got a trailer on the back of you now. Wagon and drag. Really? Anyway, it's a different concept altogether. Driving these things, it's a different animal. And I will emphasise this again for many of you who may not know. It is a 60-foot, 44-ton, 56 even, I beg your pardon, 56 mile an hour missile, right, when it's going down the motorway. And in the wrong hands, in the hands of somebody who is not quite right for the job, it's dangerous. Anyway, that's beside the point. It's another story altogether. But when you go into the apprentice side of things, if this was ever a possibility, right, then you could have class 2 and you could stick this guy, new, hi, I'm a newbie. You could put him in the driver's seat with loony plates on, with a competent driver over there. It hasn't got to be an examiner. It only has to be somebody who's competent to be taught to be driven. So he's so you can go and take your test. Then you have to go through a licensed instructor. But just to go and get used to the feel of it, you don't need to. You never did with your car, did you? Because you go in the car with your mum or your dad or your sister or your uncle, whatever, and off you went. Loony plates on, same principle. And then you can go and book yourself some lessons, and you take your lessons with an actual person who's registered to do that kind of thing, and then he'll book you in for your test, and then you go and sit that, and and so on and so forth. And but if you pass it first time, whoop-de-boobity-boody-doo, and then obviously after that you then move on to your class 1, right? Again, you've got your license now for class 2. This is the extension side of things. So you can then get yourself in an Arctic proper. That's the categories. You see, it's important. You have to have that first. But you get into an Arctic, right? And you have a lovely guy, person, whatever, there, who's competent, who can teach you these wonderful things. And you go around with loony plates till you get comfortable, competent, and you enjoy it, and you find that this is all right, this is all right. And you're not chucked in because you've got the safety net there. If anything's untoward, he's there or she's there to say, hang on a minute, you're not quite doing that right, let's do it this way instead. You'll find it a lot easier. And if that progressed over a period of time, instead of only a few fucking weeks, make it more of a few months, then the driving standard increases. It lifts up. It goes not downhill, it goes uphill. People who take the time then and to teach these young people to drive correctly and not go around like a fucking bull at a gate, not jumping round islands like they're in a car on the wrong side, instead of being on the left they're on the fucking right, trying to cut people up and shit like that. It helps out a lot. And then as they progress through their few months of learning, supposedly, then obviously they can then book in their tests. So then they go to an instructor and have a few lessons with the instructor, and he then can polish you up, and you go off and take your test, and hopefully, like I say, you pass first time. You may not, but hey, whatever. But you never know. Some people are good with tests, they don't care. Others may be a bit nervous. But the point is that they've had this extended period of training, not just a couple of weeks. I mean, I think mine lasted all of about, a fortnight. I think it might have been, or might have been less than. I don't even know. I can't remember. It was that long ago. I think it might have even been a week. I can't remember. For the class 2, was it a week, 5 days? Then you took your test. Oh, do you know what? I can't remember. It was something ridiculous anyway. But you imagine the benefit of having an apprentice kind of thing for driving, I think that would be far more beneficial for the industry than just letting somebody pay thousands of pounds for a licence and then just to be told, oh, sorry mate, you need experience, at least 2 years. And you're like, what? You know, you've got to try and put this money back in your bank account that you've just forked out, and yet you can't because no bugger wants to give you the job. Oh, love a duck. I don't know. I just don't see the logic in it. It baffles me. You can also sort of like look at it like this. The companies out there of all shapes and sizes, they don't help themselves either, because the demands that they put. But the demands are there because of the lack of drivers there. But it's also down to the lack of incentive. I mean, when I done this because I got fed up with what I was, and I was made redundant, and it was offered to me like, you know, why don't you do this? And I've got a bit of money there, so I thought, why not? I'll give it a go, and I've been here ever since. But I actually enjoy driving. I love this bit. This is the bit I do like. Apart from when you go shunt down through fucking traffic, that I don't like. That is just mind-numbingly boring. But the odd chance you'll get is you're driving through countrysides and stuff like that. Obviously, you've got to be a lot more careful, but then it's even more enjoyable. The pleasure side comes. It's wonderful stuff. You see different locations. If you enjoy the idea of living in a truck for a week, well then hats off to you, because I couldn't fucking do it. But anyway. But can you imagine the difference it would make if companies out there who desperately want drivers would then employ the younger people to come in and then actually train them over a period of time that's acceptable for these type of vehicles? It's a dangerous machine. Cars are dangerous enough, bikes are dangerous enough, but you can take as many lessons as you want. But most lessons these days on vehicles is a week, maybe 2. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I'm sure it was fucking 5 days, you know. I'm fucking positive it was a 5-day bulk thing. Because you done that, passed your test, took it in and fucked off and done you. Because it was like, might have been a 2-week thing, because obviously first week was your rigid, the second week was the class 1, so well, whatever. Either way, it's a small amount of time, I think personally, to make somebody reasonably competent to drive one of these things. See, in a car, when you pass your test, it's just to make sure that you're competent to drive it. Driving one of these, there's a lot more into it. Oh, he's competent to drive it, he'll be alright, yeah, don't worry about it, be fine. But the aspect of the job is fucking immense. There's not just, oh, we can point it in the fucking forward direction and go, or we can drive it parrot fashion backwards into a little open space box between 2 lines. No, that's not the real world. That's crap. But it's all to do with competence. Oh yes, he can do it. He can put it in that box and the back of his trailer is right in the fucking hatchings. Perfect. Oh well, alright then. Fair enough then. Carry on, regardless. Queue on slip road. Not surprised. Call me lazy or not, I don't care. I can't be arsed. But if you look at it like from a point of view of you're a new driver out there, you got no experience whatsoever, you're looking for a job. Sorry mate, I've got a one. Why is that, mate? Because you ain't got experience. Where am I going to get that from? They can't answer you. They can't tell you where to get experience from. You just can't do it because they don't know. That's the be all end of it. They just do not know. They haven't got a clue where to get experience from. So you're stuffed, like I say, unless you can find a company out there that will employ you on the principle that you are new and you need help. I mean, we do. We have new drivers come in and they'll go out with one of us, but they only go out with us for a couple of days. See, this is what was happening with us. We used to do it quite regularly, and what we would do is have one of the new lads with us, either me or somebody else would be sitting there, and we'd have them for a couple of days, and sometimes we'd have them up for a week, right? Which is, fair enough. I think that's pretty good, that is. But again, that cost goes on to the company. But because they got stung quite a lot through doing that, by having it double manned for one job, and then the person leaving, then they decided that it just wasn't worth it, and it is becoming a pointless operation, which is a shame. I'm going to say why, but because that's going down a realm I don't want to delve into. But but hey, at the end of the day, we did do it. We still do it to a point now, but not as often as we used to do. But I think if the industry needs drivers, and say the government decided to step in and say, okay, enough's enough, right? We realise that this CPC thing is an absolute big sack of shite. It isn't worth the paper it's printed on. But what we'll do, we'll help subsidise apprenticeships for lorry driving companies for rigids and HGV class 1s. So you've got class 2s and class 1s. And in that way, they'll get the proper training, right? Money's being paid, and they're learning a trade, if you like. And it should get better. Obviously, then there's the other aspect of it as well. There's the money side of things. The money's got to be appealing as well. I mean, do you want to drive one of these things with the risks that you have to take for minimum wage? It's there. There's a lot of companies out there that only pay minimum wage, or at least just over that minimum wage bracket by about 10, 15, 20 pence, something like that. So at the end of the day, do you want to do that? But you're doing it, Jace. Oh, I know. I live around the corner, so it makes a difference to me. So I haven't got to worry about overheads too much. But because I hadn't driven for anybody else other than this company, there was no point. And I live around the corner, and I've suffered so much with it as I've gone along. And now it has gotten better. I can't argue. It has got better. But that's my side of it, not everybody's side of it. It could be a little bit better. I mean, it could be more better, if I suppose, if that's a word you can use. But couldn't everything else? I complain, you complain, everybody complains. If it was up to me, I'd never work at all, ever again. I fucking hate work. But I don't mind this. I don't mind driving. Driving for me is alright, it's fine. Don't mind it. I could do it all day. And the reason why I'm going this way, if you was wondering, is because I can't be asked to go up and down and up and down and up and down. This is more of a leisurely drive, this is. Oh dear. If anybody asks, the M1 was fucked. Anyway. So what do you think? I mean, by all means, stick a comment down. I mean, let me know what you think. Is it something that you would say would be a good idea to start apprentices for driving so that they actually learn the job properly and not get chucked in at the deep end? And don't come up with some smarmy comment, well, I was chucked in at the deep end, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but look how much you would have benefited if you wasn't chucked in the deep end and being told things, right, the right way, instead of having to find out by fucking up the first place. You know, learning from experience is one thing, but being taught to avoid accidents or injury through other people's mishaps, that's how it should be, really. I mean, you don't want to end up with a black thumbnail or a busted foot or a shattered ankle because you wasn't taught properly, right? You don't want to end up losing your life because you did something so ridiculously stupid that you ended up dead. I'm just putting it out there. At the end of the day, remember, this is a job. What I'm doing now is the job. Driving, transporting the goods from point A to point B. That is the job. But what you've got to do is know how to do point A to point B. It's no good just being stuck in the driver's seat going, well, you know, and all this lot. You've got to understand the load you're carrying, the dynamics of the vehicle that changes through each load you pick up. You might be somebody who carries plant work or learning to carry plant work. You have to go through the procedure of chaining that thing down to the deck correctly. Right? You can't just fanny about, just dump it on there. You have to be taught to actually drive the vehicles onto the flatbed correctly after setting the flatbed up correctly. Right? There's a fucking shite load of jobs out there to deal with transport, different aspects. There's the recycling, when they use the walking floors and the bulkers. There's another bit of training there that you will never know how to use unless somebody shows you, and if you actually go for that kind of job, and somebody will train you to do that job. But if you were an apprentice in that company to start with, you would learn everything as you go along through the months before you take your test, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? I don't know. Skip wagons, bin men, all that kind of crap, all comes from lorries. But when there's no initial help to actually do the job, and you have to learn on the fly without somebody saying, no, that's not quite right, let's stop there and do it again. But you can't when you're actually doing the fucking thing. You've got to have somebody there to help you out. You know what I mean? Go, right, I'm going to just do this, do that. And you'll find that life would be a lot easier. I really would. Honestly. I want to get past him. Poo. Look, dude, this truck I am driving is fucking milk float slow as it is. Why the hell are you going slower? What the fuck's all that about? I don't know where all this bloody traffic's coming from. It's like, it's just gone. At least it's moving now, eh? That's the main thing. It's moving! Moving! Moving, moving, moving. I don't think I want to get past anybody yet. I'm getting bored now, come on. Right, there's a car just here now. If I let him get past me, I can, yeah, that'll do, stick them on like that. He can get past me, I can squeeze him in between here, blah blah blah. It's great, isn't it? Simple little thing like that. But if you aren't in the frame of mind knowing how, you can end up being stuck behind that dude forever. Little tricks and tips that help us all. But in the next couple of years, maybe 5 years time, we're going to be losing even more drivers, because there's a lot of drivers out there that I bump into and talk to that are knocking on the fucking retiring age, and some of them are even past retiring and still driving. I think it's just due to the fact they're bored, but you know, they do it anyway. So those people are under no obligation to continue driving once they reach 65. They don't have to. They do it most of the time because they can't afford to retire. Hello, I'm going to be one of those people. I'll have to drive until I just can't drive no more. The only thing I'll be able to drive is people around the bend. But other than that, you know, what happens then? I look at it like this, right? When you've got schools out there that are encouraging their pupils to do well at school and pass all their exams, if you are a great grader, you have all your, you know, your passes on your school exams, your GCSEs or whatever, and you even then move on to like the sixth form type, or even go into colleges and stuff like that, are you really going to throw all that away and go and jump in a truck? Not really. Do I need to be in this lane? Oh fuck, I don't need to be in this lane, do I? This is the A1. I don't want the A1, Jace. What are you in here for? Because I thought it was a 4-lane motorway, that's why. We'll be moving over again then. See, it's been that fucking long. Even I make mistakes. You know what I mean? Doesn't interfere with anybody, mind you, but you know. But we're always constantly learning as we go along. Rules change. And if you try to get it all crammed in one go, it never fits. It falls out. Half of it falls out. You know what I mean? All that information goes, ugh, and it gets lost in there's a little black hole in there. It just sucks the fucking lot out of it, and you can't find it ever again. It's gone. But over time, enough time, because this is another thing that fucks me off, because I'm in this bracket as well. Certain things takes a little bit longer to understand and get your head around. Not everybody can go, ping, first time, not a problem, I'll fucking do that, no worries. But not everybody's like that. It might take somebody another couple of tries. It might take somebody a fucking good couple of days at trying. But then, all of a sudden, boom, ding, da! Sparkles and shit, you know what I mean? Banners are out, because now they're fucking expert at it. But they have spent a bit more time to get to be an expert at it, mind you. But hey ho, whatever. You've put yourself in a bit of a fucking precarious place there, don't you? Yeah, whatever. Okay. So, what do you think? Tell me, please, please. Tell me. I know. I already know. You've already told me time and time again. I wish you'd teach me, Jace. I'd love to. Can't see why not. But unfortunately, I'm not an instructor. I don't lose my patience, but I will fucking, air my opinion if I feel that my life is in jeopardy. I mean, if I had a HGV and I was an instructor, I would demand dual controls, honestly, I fucking would. They'd have to be over there. There's no fucking two ways about it, they would have to be over there, because, yeah, it's just one of those things, I'm afraid. I don't really quite trust this dude carrying fucking 30 ton on the back of him. What do you mean? Yeah, I mean, exaggeration, like, but hey ho. Can you imagine that, eh? JC's School of HGV training. What do you reckon? Would that be a good one? Was that a good slogan? JC's School of Training. JC's Training School. JC's HGV Training School. Well, fucking mouthful and all that, yeah, or whatever. Oh, good. Do you know, I think on that thing as well, it mentioned that there actually isn't enough examiners out there to train, or even trainers to train people out there. I mean, even that's a bit of a cack, isn't it, really, when you think about it? There's not enough people out there to actually train people to do the job. What now? I wonder why. We've been having issues with test goers, right? Now, I know it's not the DC's fault, and I know it's not Tesco's fault in general, so let's get that out of the way, right? It's just the fact that it got too much cack. And at Lichfield, we were being stacked up for hours, right? And I mean hours, trying to either get on a bay or get an empty trailer in my case, or waiting to get on a bay to get tipped so I could have my trailer back as it was. And it seems as I've been back today, like, and it's all right. We had plenty of empties up there for a change. But it's only because they had an issue, but they were stacking so many drivers in there, it was untrue. But you name that any one of those drivers in there that had to wait those X amount of hours, there's two things they have to put up with. One, the fact that they're bored out their tits and there's not really facilities there to be stuck there for 5 to 6 to 7, or in my case 10 hours, because yes, I was. I called it a day out at Tesco's. And I'm thinking, any new driver who had to come and see this, they would go the same for me, because they'd be bored off their fucking Swede. But that's the sort of crap that you have to put up with when you do there, delays upon delays. So that's the one side of it. The other side is that you've got your boss thinking, what's going on, where are you, what are you doing? I'm stuck here, blah blah blah, I'm waiting for a bay, there's nothing happening yet. Do your job, figure it out, call somebody. I'm a driver, it's not right up to me. You know what I mean? But some of the companies in there that was going in, there was being pulled out, blah, blah, there was loads when it was really bad, because it'd been going on for a couple of weeks, like, you know. And it was like as though it didn't sort of like creep up to this. It was like 1 minute it was okay, and the next minute, poof, like, what the fuck, you can't move in here, what's going on? You know what I mean? That was the sort of scenario it was. But that's only one aspect of it. You've got other things as well that can deter people from being a lorry driver. The law, for start off, the rules and regulations of being a truck driver. Now, you can have the basics, which will keep you sort of out of trouble, but there are other things that are in there that will trip you up no matter what you try and do, because it's so complicated. And trust me, it is complicated. Unless you spend months and months studying how a tachograph and the law around it works, and your rest breaks, your period of times, the fucking the weekly rest, daily rest, all that kind of crap. Unless you study it and go over and over until it sinks in, which will take you a hell of a long time to do, well, you ain't got a clue. So you grasp hold of the basics like I had to do when I first started driving. I grabbed out the basics, and the basics was, when I first started driving, you had 3 15-minute breaks in every 4.5 hour that you've driven. So you could break it down. So in the first 4.5 hour brackets, say you could drive for an hour and a half, have 15. Drive for another hour, have 15. Right? Then you can only drive for another 2 hours, and you have to have the extra 15 for your 45 split. Or you can do it, have a 15. Drive, you know, after you've driven for a couple of hours, have a 15. Then you could drive for another 2.5 hours, but you've got to have half an hour. That was simple enough, wasn't it? But now they have to make it even more fucking cockeyed now, where you have to have a 15-minute break first. And I don't get the logic in that. Why has it got to be a 15-minute break first? What the fuck for? Why does it matter? You might be somewhere where you think, oh, I've got to waste some time, I'll have half an hour. Done. Half an hour, break included, job's a good one. You've got a couple of more hours worth of driving left, stop, have 15, get on with it. No, you can't do that. For some unknown reason that don't work. They can't get their head around that shit. I never got my head around that shit either myself. But when it was 3:15s, it was so much simpler. It really was. It was a piece of piss. You couldn't fail. It was easy. 3:15s, whatever. The only time that you had to take a full 45 minutes uninterrupted was twice a week. Why is that, Jace? Because you could extend your driving hours twice a week, right, to 10 hours, right? But after the 9th hour, you had to have an uninterrupted 45-minute break. You couldn't break that fucker down because you've got no room to break it down, have you? It's obviously logical. So, you know, your new drivers out there have got all that shit running around their head. Then Vauxhall come out with fucking ridiculous bullshit right? About you've got to do this, you've got to do that, you've got to stack this, you've got to do that, you've got to strap it like that, you've got to strap it like this. But you've got to do it because they have now made it law, so if you don't, you get fucked, you get reamed, you get fined. You get fined more money than you actually earn. So again, where's the incentive? There ain't none. There's no incentive at all. Well, if you do it right the first time, you won't get it done. But if you're not taught right first time, you're taught by just giving the keys and fuck off out there, go and play, have fun, see you later, maybe, in hospital, possibly, or dead. You know what I mean? So you have to learn all these new tricks that they keep fucking coming up with to make it even more impossible to do your job. It's like strapping loads, right? I say talk, he wasn't really interested. The chap, he says to me, he says, I'm fucking sick of coming to these loads and they're not strapped. And I said, strap it then. But it should already be strapped. Why? Has it collapsed? No. Is it perfectly fine as it is? Yeah. Well then, if you want it strapping, fucking strap it then, you lazy bastard. But it's supposed to, every pallet, if it's on a pallet, it's supposed to be strapped. Hang on, whoa, and he wouldn't even let me finish the conversation. Actually, right, if it is under 400 kilos per pallet, you don't have to strap the pallets. You've got no obligation. It doesn't say you have to at all. Now, peace of mind, on the other hand, you can whap a couple of straps around the back, job's a good one. Right? Me, I've been a good boy today. I really have. I am fucking strapped like you wouldn't believe. As a matter of fact, there's more straps on this thing than there is in a fucking dominatrix fucking den. Anyway, I've no idea where I am. Any ideas? I'm sure I'm looking for something. Yes, you're looking for junction 35. If I've gone past it, it's your fault. Anywho, so strapping loads all depends on what type of load it is, right? How stable is it? What is it like? Is it over 400 kilos per pallet? Brilliant. Then if it is, strap each one. Great. No problem at all. Is it double stacked? Do you know how to strap a double stacked load? Have you been taught how to do that properly? There are right and wrong ways of doing that as well. And still people keep getting it fucking wrong. I'll just have a good giggle. I go, what are you doing? Please don't tell me I've drove past my fucking junction. I probably have more than likely because I'm off my head today. Just add it to the fucking list of things that keep going on wrong. It's alright, we can get it all. Why not? Fuck it. Let's go to the seaside. I am getting quite concerned now. I'm thinking, have I really drove past my junction? I can't have done. I'd have seen it. No, you wouldn't, Jace, because half the time you fucking drive your eyes shut. Ah! Nah, I'm alright. I think. See, because I've not been up here that long, I'm like, this looks familiar. It does look familiar. The actual location, like, any minute now, there should be a sign that says, work access. I haven't seen that yet. I don't think I have. I could have done, but my eyes were shut. I mean, I wasn't really, I was just not paying attention. Oh dear. But anyway, regardless of that, I can always turn around anyway, so it makes no difference. I don't care. Mistakes made. It doesn't hurt nobody if you just carry on, turn around, come back. It just means it'll be a bit longer getting back in the yard. Oh no, what? Even more time? Fuck! Actually no, the sign's just down there. Phew. Well, I fucking hope it's the right sign I'm looking at there coming up now. Please be the right sign. It says can you see the sweat down my fucking forehead? Yeah, see, that's what I'm looking for. Works unit only. I always use that as a reference to junction 35 because I have actually drove straight past the fucking thing. And this is before all this lark. This is when I was just a fucking numpty. What do you mean numpty? You're already a fucking numpty still now. What? And I'm going la 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 la, la 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 la, and I'm going, is that junction 35? I've just gone sailing past because I've seen the exit on the other side, like, well, the entrance, whatever, yeah, the exit. I'm like, fuck! Luckily though, from there, here to there, he's only a mile to the next junction. Or a mile, is it a mile? No, hang on. 2.5 miles I think it is, maybe. So it ain't like you made a big boo-boo, like for argument's sake, let's say you missed junction 11 on the M40. See ya! Back in an hour! Bye! Yeah, fucking tell me about it. I don't know. So when somebody says, would you recommend driving as a job? I'd go, in the current state, no. Not really. Not unless you're a fanatic, one of these, what I call a, what's the word? Truckers with pride type of person. If you're one of them, then fair enough, you might put up with all the crap and do it because you'll be there in your spare time polishing your truck. But be careful, right? Right? Be careful, because if Vosa, in their wonderful fucking logic, catch you going on your fucking brake, cleaning and polishing, they'll do you for it, because you're not resting. Did you know that? Right? Did you actually know that? If you knew that, let me say, yeah, I know that, Jace, that's blah, blah, blah. But if you go, no, I don't know that, then let me know. Because I'd be interested to know if how many people out there actually do know that for you truckers with pride people, while you're on a bay somewhere and you're being loaded from the back doors and you're on brake, because you are allowed to be on brake while you're on a bay, and you're giving your old tank and things a bit of a clean, that, you know, Vosa can be a funny bunch and go, have you had your brake, mate? Well, we saw you polishing and cleaning your truck. Yeah, it was relaxing, didn't it? But you was working, not resting. See what I mean? This is the thing that I'm like, well, you just can't win with these fucking people. You know what I mean? No matter what you do, you're in the wrong. And let me just say, right now, right, because it's been privatised, okay, you have to be even more aware, because they're trying to invent even more shit just to fucking sting you. Should I say that? Am I wrong in saying that? Ah, well, whatever. But like most people out will probably say, well, if you don't do it wrong in the first place, you'll be fine. I understand that. I do. But if you're going to make the job worth less, then what is the point in doing the job in the first place? If there is no incentive to do the job, why would anybody want to do it? Oh, that's right, because we're fucking stupid. I am in that category, by the way, because look at me, I'm driving here, talking to you, like, wobbling on about something that's fucking stupid. But anyway, that's beside the point. What do you want to do? Do you want to become a lorry driver? Would you like to be a trucker, right, with X amount of health issues? Because trust me, they will come, right? I can't sit down for very long now in certain, you know, what's it, with my fucking ass aches and my back aches and what have you. I can't stand up for too long because my back aches and my ass aches. I can't win. I'm unfit. I'm getting fat again. Yeah, the blob is appearing. I feel like I've got the fucking medicine ball stuck under my jumper. But that's my fault because I don't do anything else. But the thing is, right, when you're doing a long day and you have done a lot of driving in that long day, because don't forget, you might do a long day but not a lot of driving. But you have done a lot of driving, so you've hit your maximum 10, and trust me, those days are a fucking killer. They really are. You are boned out, done. You are fried, right? You don't want to do it. All you want to do is fill your face and zone out in the TV, right? That's all you want to do. You haven't got the mental capacity to do anything else unless you are a smart ass. Anyway, so again, there's not really the incentive there, is there? No. But if they made it a little bit more attractive, like made it clear that it is a professional driving job and not just a fucking dead-end job, right? From your rigid drivers, because there's multiple different types of rigid drivers, to your class 1 drivers, your Arctic drivers, multiple different types of driving Arctic jobs, and acknowledge the fact that it is a profession, even though they don't these days, and paid you accordingly, instead of the company that you work for trying to undercut the next company to get the business in. I understand getting business, I really do, because if you haven't got business you can't work, can you? You can't earn and you can't employ, so I know that. But you look at it from that aspect of the driving side of things, whereas your company is now bidding for that job, right? It's X amount of loads in an X amount of years, this is how much. And then another company comes along, well, we can do it for X amount of pounds less. So the company then is going to go, oh, we'll go for that haulage company then. So then you can also then say the blame can lie on the big fucking corporations out there that employ the logistic sides of the industry, because they're always looking for the cheaper, better deal. But realistically, it's not a better deal, because the cheaper one ends up being the shit one. You know what I mean? I'm not going to go any further down that rabbit hole. That can end up in some serious fucking hot water. But anyway, beside the point. But you know, the only people that will suffer from that battle between corporations and logistic companies is the driver's wages. They have to be reduced to keep the work, but the profit will still be in the back pocket of the person who's running the business. That's without a doubt, because they're not here to lose money, they're here to make it. So the wages will stay to a point where, you know, it's profitable. But if you've got a company that does a specific job, and there's only a finite amount of companies out there that do it up and down the country, like, for argument's sake, petrochemical, pulling the tankers around and filling up the gas, the petrol stations, right? There's all that. So delivering gas to homes and stuff like that, again, specific. It's a very, very dangerous job if you ain't got it fucking up here. You fuck up there, mate, not just people on the road are going to die, a fucking town can die. You know what I mean? Depending on what you're carrying, right? And you're going to get paid appropriately. A fucking fortune. Whereas me just picking up fucking cornflakes or crisps or something like that, I don't care. Don't matter. Like one of our subbies said on my comments, he says that looking back at it, thinking I'm on a class 2, being paid, I think he says it was £8 something. He says I might as well go and stack shelves for 9.5 quid, 10 quid. I'm like, well, you know, it's there. There's a company that we collect from up in Stoke-on-Trent. I won't tell you the name of them, but there you go. It's insulation, I'll give you that much. But they're forklift truck drivers, FLT drivers, they are on £10.40 an hour. And yet the HGV driver that collects a stack of that shit, a trailer full, is on probably £2 less than what they are an hour. Maximum of £2 less. You know, work that one out. Unbelievable. So yeah, ask me to you know, give my opinion on, is it worth being a lorry driver? Current state, no. Once again, repeat, no it's not. And it's a shame because, like I say, there are some great aspects to driving, but they're not all great. Not at all. Not a fucking tool. It's like, imagine you're having a great day, you've delivered, no hiccups, you're empty, you're off to your collection destination, not a problem. You're either back on a bay or open your curtains, you're literally either maybe one or two in front of you, or you might be the first one there. You get done, and then you're on your way back home, and then some pillock fucks your journey up because their incompetent twats crashed. And guess what? Your road that you're on is now blocked for however long it takes for that to be resolved. And you can guarantee that that happens more often than you'd wish it fucking wouldn't. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, not again. What's he done? What for? Oh, did you really? Oh, I was doing. Oh, and you have the sign flash up on the screen saying, between junction blah 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 and blah blah blah, hour and a half delay. Or then all of a sudden, after that comes up, he goes, closed. I'm like, fuck. Yeah, that does happen. So unless you can divert yourself around that, and trust me, if you're new, you can't. No, because I don't know anywhere else. I'm stuck. So, you're buggered. And that can then really start to weigh down when you... Because, I mean, believe it or not, there's certain areas of the country that have more incidences than others. So you imagine being in that realm of play where there's always a knock or a bump somewhere that stops the traffic, blocks the road off, and you're like, oh, not again. So you tally up then the time spent in traffic jams. I reckon there's, in your lifetime, especially if you're a fucking driver, right, it amounts to years stuck in traffic. Fucking years, not hours, years of your life whittled away. Shunt, 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 stop. Shunt, 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 stop. Fuck me drunk, honestly. Again, another thing to look forward to if you want to be a lorry driver. Hey, come and be a lorry driver, yeah. You'll get shit on, stamped on, ignored, called the cunts of all the worlds of everything else. You know, the worst mug on the road. But, you know, come and have a go. Enjoy it. Being treated like fucking cattle when you turn up to your destination. You gotta wait in that waiting room there. Really? The most uncomfortable fucking chairs. I mean, there was one particular place I went to. Do you remember back in the day when you was at school and you went into the swimming pool area and they've got those fucking wooden benches with slats on? You know them ones? I went into a place where they were the seating area and there was drivers that were there for 2 hours more. I'm like, stick a fucking bell around my neck and call me Daisy. Dingle, 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 dingle. Because that's how most of us feel when we are at whatever destination we're at. And it's not fair. Well, you've got to look at the other side of it as well. Right? I can't go just, you know, one-sided. A lot of drivers out there don't help themselves, right? And they are questionable in their antics that they do. And I have heard some pretty grisly stories of what some drivers do get up to. There was an incident what can you call it? Is it really an incident? I don't fucking know. One of our drivers, he come up to me, he says, what's this? I said, what's what? I'm standing outside, I don't know. He said, come and have a look. He says, I want you to show you something. He says, it's a new truck, it was his 14 plate CF DAF. He says, come and have a look at this. And he shows me these punctures in the floor carpeting, because it's that lino type stuff and there was puncture marks, and I immediately I thought I laughed at it. I said I knew it, and he says all my stuff got moved around in the cab. I'm like, really? And I started to snigger, because these marks in the carpeting, I knew exactly what they were, because there was a truck I drove a couple of days previous and they were dotted all over the fucking centre. It was an XF DAF, this was. And I'm thinking, what are these here? These look familiar. Like, and I even took a picture of these marks, and then obviously zoomed in. I went, fuck me. What the fuck's been going on in this cab? Like, I'm thinking, shit, what do I not touch? Because the marks were high heel shoe puncture marks in the floor across, and I'm like, you do realise that somebody's been wearing high heel shoes in there, and there was spaced. And I was doubled up. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, yeah, his mind then was like, shit, and they've moved on. Oh no, and I'm thinking, trust me. He said, I've got to wash all my stuff, and I said, mate, don't wash it, just fucking burn it. Oh dear. Because there are some people out there, right, who have total disregard for anybody else's property, right? Honestly. And yeah, it turns out that it actually was. It was oh fuck, I saw in my eye now. I think it was an eyelash. It was the imprints of high heel shoes. Oh, love a duck. I mean, there might be a cross-dresser. I mean, I don't know. Each to their own, obviously. But you don't really want to be doing that in a vehicle that everybody else is going to be using. That's a bit unfair, don't you think? Whatever you're going to be getting up to inside the cab, like, you know, that's thoughtlessness. That is downright thoughtlessness. Inconsiderate. But I'm sorry, these are the things that happen. This is the reason why I would prefer, right, trampers who are allocated a vehicle. It's their vehicle and their vehicle alone. Nobody else should ever touch it, right? Apart from the guy who maintains it and services it, takes it in the shop on the weekend or whichever 2 days he's got off. You know, it's once over and that's it. Park back up again. Not every Tom, Dick and Harry use it when the guy's off work, because I think that's disrespectful. I'm sorry. So if he is a cross-dresser, then it's up to him. Then he can do as he pleases. He ain't got to worry about it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. You know, don't care. Don't give a shit what you do. But you do get some. I mean, I was given a vehicle, right? Not told that the driver was off ill, and I end up catching his gunk, right? And I was very ill, and I had to soldier on through it. I mean, I think I've got a video of it somewhere, when he'd just come over me as like a wave, and I was getting worse and worse as I was driving down whatever it was, and I even made several mistakes, and but I was getting so to the point where I was, oh man, I was really, really ill. But because I couldn't afford to have the time off, I had to push through it, and it took me several days to get over that. And I asked the question, is the guy who's in this vehicle, is he off sick? Oh yeah, thanks for that. You know what I mean? Because there's another thing, right? the germs that float around inside a vehicle is immense, right? Granted, we do try. Well, I don't even want to go down this fucking path, but fuck it. I'm as clean as I possibly can be, right? I'm not a fucking clean freak. I'm not going to argue with that. But I try and wipe down. But as you've been noticing me talking to you, I've been rubbing my eye, right? And I've been fucking touching my face. But my hand's been all over the steering wheel, the door handle, everywhere else, right? That every fucking other driver's been on as well. It's all here. You know those ultraviolet lights? If you'd have shone that over my face, I bet my face would look a right mess. It'd glow because of all the crap that's in the vehicle. Are you enjoying it so far? Right. But if anybody who is driving the vehicle is ill, you're just transferring your germs onto them, right? It's just the way it is. So you have to think of that aspect of it. Do you want to be sat inside a cesspool? This is why I complain about the filth in these vehicles, you know what I mean? I try my best to wipe down as much as I can. Steering wheel, sides, bits and pieces that I touch and mess around with if I can. But, you know, you can only do so much. You like to think that the person who does live in one of these is clean enough, and granted, I know who drives this one, he is. So he's really adamant about it. But I've stepped into some of the trampers' vehicles that we've had, and I've given the keys back because I refuse to drive it, because it is an absolute fucking cesspit. And I'm like, how can this... I mean, if you want to live like that at home, because I know I do, right? I'm a bit of a scruffy fucker, but I'm at home, and I'm not inviting anybody else there to come and, you know, mess around and enjoy and fucking play with all my shit. You know what I mean? No. It's my private home, and that's it. I'll do as well. But when somebody else is going to, you know, they're going to be using the vehicle, then surely you should keep it fucking clean and tidy. For their benefit as well as your own. So there's another incentive to drive a fucking truck. Catching the lurgy of some scutty fucker. I think I've got the lurgy in my eyeball, I think. Oh. Whatever. So what do you think? Is it something that you want to do? Will you be lucky enough to find a company out there that caters for just you and you alone, so that when you have your truck, it's only you that drives it, nobody else? No, I did have some sunglasses here somewhere. Where the fuck are they gone? Fuck. Balls. Where's my sunglasses gone? Please don't say I've lost my sunglasses. They were in here earlier. I'm fucking positive they were. They ain't too. I could use them now. Oh, come on. Take there. Where the fuck are they gone then? My sunglasses have done a runner. I did see them earlier. I'm sure I did. Aha! I got it. Got him. Sorry, my eyes are aching a bit. Long drive. I ain't used to it. I'm only used to fucking backwards and forwards, up and down, up and down. Oh, that's better. Bit of rest on the old peepers. I will move over in a sec. I just want to find out what this tanker's doing up here. Because I might be, just might be, a little bit quicker than this tonker. I know that a few out there go, well, I'm a tipper driver and I always end up in building sites and shit like that. I understand that. Still no excuse. You can see these tipper driver, what they call truckers with pride tipper drivers. They go around the same kind of places, but do you see their vehicles covered in shit? No. Because if it does, they clean the fucker up. You wouldn't see them marching across the centre console with their dirty fucking muddy boots, would you? No. I mean, some people have actually refused to go on to building sites with their vehicles. I ain't fucking going in there, that. They can get fucked. You know what I mean? That's how some of these people get a little bit dedicated, like, you know what I mean? Too serious for my take, but, you know. But, think of it. That's what you have to put up with. I mean, it does. I mean, I have to like blank my mind off to it, to be fair, because you can get into some vehicles and you do not know what these drivers get up to when they're on their own. Have you thought of it yet? Oh dear. But you know what I mean, that day. Is it bare thinking about? Oh, you have to turn yourself off to that kind of crap because it sends you insane, honestly. And if you was a germaphobe, right, there is no way on this planet that you'd be a driver. You'd never cope with it. No way. You'd open the driver's door and go, and you'd be gone. You'd be running a mile down the road somewhere. When you get into some of the vehicles as well, the emanations that spring around the cab is like, what the fuck is that smell? Good grief. Where's that coming from? Has somebody stuck a fucking dead fish in the fucking heater? Because honestly, right, we've opened the fridges up on some of the older vehicles before now, and there's been some failed science experiment in there, and it's just gone awry. You know, it's like, what the fuck is that going on? And tentacles come flying out like an hour as you open the door. What the get it fucking wrestling. Oh. You think I'm fucking joking, mate? I ain't. It's like I had one of our CF DAFs a couple of days, right? And I hadn't had it for a while, but then I had it. That makes sense somewhere. The centre console, because it's CF, is up here, right? So you got there's a little rubber mat inside there. It was fucking rammy. So I thought, oh, fuck this. That's what, you got to put your stuff somewhere. So I took it out, went into the toilet, got some soap under the sink, hot tap, give it a good old swill off, dried it under the dryer, wiped all the surrounding plastic, got it all cleaned off, put that back in, job's good, nice and clean and tidy. Came back to it the following, I think it might have been about 2 days later, it was fucking rammy again. I'm like, what the fuck do people do? Do they go out their way to go, or chucking coffee on it, or getting fucking crisps and going, screw. I mean, what the fuck? It must be their mission in life to fuck shit up just for the fun of it. Like, oh, I wonder what I can do today. Oh, I know. Let's pull that off. What? I mean, at the end of the day, the incentive to drive a vehicle. Yeah. I'm still thinking. It's like pros and cons, and pros. What would you be? Oh fuck me! The pros of being a lorry driver. It's a job. There's one. If you've only ever lived around your own area, you'll visit new locations, industrial estates, mind you, but different locations. I suppose there's two. I can't think of anything else. No, I can't think of anything else. Cons. The likelihood of you getting a speeding fine is 1,000 to fucking 1. You will, honestly, you'll do it. You'll fuck up one point or another. You'll go, oh, bollocks. And the best of it is, right? You didn't wake up that morning and go, fuck it, I'm going to break the speed limit all day. Fuck 'em. You didn't do that, did you? No. It was just that minute lapse in judgment that wasn't really that much of a bother. You was a few miles out and you just at the wrong place at the wrong time, few seconds worth, and you're fucked for 5 years. That means you've been, you know, you got your points on your license for 5 fucking years. You know what I mean, don't you? So there's that you have to fucking be aware of. That you oh, and here's another one for you. Cons. Tyres. Make sure you check all your fucking tyres. Because, believe it or not, you could lose your licence on one truck. And then some. If it's 3 points per tyre and you've got 6 tyres with a bald spot on it, you're fucked. It's like, bye-bye licence. Off he goes. You're only allowed 12. 12's a full house and you're fucking done, mate. Bingo. Great, isn't it? And here's the shit kicker. You've just spent all that money on achieving that licence and now you can't use it. Oh, well, why? Because you didn't do your fucking checks properly. And why didn't you do your checks properly? Because you wasn't shown properly. Ta-da! You know, when I took my lessons and what have you, I was never actually showed that shit. I learned that when I actually got on the road. My brother-in-law was like, now you've got to check your tyres. What? Huh? At the end of the day, you know, that's another con. What else we got? The fucking taco regulations. Oh man, another fucking ball in the arse. That is, I tell you, it just doesn't fucking go. It just don't know. What do you mean I got to do this? What do you mean I can't do? What? Hang on, I've done. Why is it I do the full? What? Oh fucking hell! You need to be a fucking PhD in rocket science to know it properly. Another con for you. When Vosa flag you over and go, follow me with a fucking little flashy light at the back, and thinking, oh, fuck you. You know, when I got pulled out, the first thing I said to myself, bye-bye licence. Ta-da, see you later. It was nice knowing you. I enjoyed driving for this length of time I've done. Oh, you know, I've had a good run. That's exactly how I felt, because I had a funny feeling I was going to get fucked for it. And after all the fretting and thinking I'm going to get stuffed, I never did. Because, I mean, I had a bad week the one week where I'd been over driving. And Vals went, you fine? It's all right. We've checked it. It's great. Not a problem. I'm like, but didn't I overdrive an X amount of time past me thing? Not a bother, apparently. I must have had the good bunch. You know what I mean? But you may not be that lucky. You might end up with somebody who's had a bad night. The missus didn't give him head or something. I don't fucking know. Whatever. But you just don't know. So there's another con. Do you really want to have that lingering over your bonds everywhere you go? It's like, fucking hell, where are they? I don't want to get stopped by them. Oh, fuck me, I've got to go past that point there. Oh, they're always fucking down on that section there. Can I bypass that shit somehow? Oh, yeah, you can. I'll go around that way instead, can't I? What? We've all done it. Oh, good grief. Now, as you can witness there, look, Mr. Coach Driver has just pulled off this motorway onto this slip road without signalling, right? Not even once did he put the blinker on. He just mulled it on over, didn't give a shit. Another con, you have to put up with bellends on the road. And yet I'm going to say bellend because realistically, professional driver should know better. Countdown markers, you signal at number 2 to show your intentions. He doesn't know what's behind him, immediately behind him, because obviously there was something right up his fucking asshole. But hey, whatever. Do you want to be a lorry driver? Really? Oh. Fucking good luck to you then. That's what I'll say. Fucking good luck to you. Fucking bright that, isn't it? Ooh, bright. Shine a light, it's oh so bright. Why are you still in 11th? And why was you in fucking manual? What the fuck's... I ain't even going there. I'm not even going there. I'm not even going there. We are having a lovely journey down here, aren't we? This is on the M1. I've gone through all those motorways and fucking roads and I've not mentioned any of them, have I? Because I've been gas bagging! Like fucking washerwoman. Anyway, if you would like to become a lorry driver, good luck to you. Right? I hope you enjoy it. I hope you have a good experience doing it and not get turned off by all the shit that I've just told you. Oh dear. Yeah. You have to be a bit of a loner to be a lorry driver as well. You have to like being a loner. If you like your own company, I do. I mean, I do get lonely. There's a difference between being on your own and being lonely. There's a different thing that's altogether different. But I like my own company, but I do get lonely. Well, there is that. But if you can put up with being on your own, like I am now, sat here, you know, admiring the scenery, whatever there is some, and to pass the time away talking to you lot, and you know, then it's fine. You'll get on with it, and you'll put up with all the other crap. You'll just push that to one side and make do, because you know that eventually you will be in the realm of the driving side that you actually enjoy, like I do. You get out there and you're able to traverse the roads and see new places, you know, sometimes. I mean, it don't happen all the time. I mean, you might have a repetitive job. Oh, my life. Yeah. There's nothing worse than being repetitive. I find that if it's repetitive, it can either become boring and tedious, or you get stale at the actual full scope of the job. That's why I was quite shocked to know that I was actually coming up this far, because I'm thinking, usual is it? Lichfield, Cannock, Lichfield, Cannock, Lichfield, Cannock, 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 Cannock. But it actually stretched my legs a bit. It's not bad. I mean, yes, it'll be a long ass fucking day, but hey, oh, whatever. I just hope tomorrow's a little bit easier. Should be. Can't see why not. Oh dear. Oh, yeah. Another con for you. Perpetually tired. Right? Driver fatigue. These things do exist, and you'll find that sleep will be a premium. Guaranteed that is. You'll find sleep will be a premium. You shouldn't really have to worry about sleep, but if you're a dayman like I am and you work from base, and it's supposed to be 11 hours off, but sometimes it might be 9. But not what when I was watching that fucking taco rest period thingamajig working from base, it's 11 hours and that's it. They never mention anything about fucking 9 hours. But that, again, it's 16 years old, I think it is. I might even be older than that now. I think the stamp date on the actual video itself was 2002, so it's probably even older than that, 20 plus years, so it may have changed since then. But realistically, right, which would make it a little bit more appealing to new drivers, would be 12 hours off, period. Right, if you're going to be a dayman, right. If you're a tramper, then the rules will change a bit more because, oh look, there's a bed there. Really? Is there? Is that what that is? It's not a sofa. So of course you can pull up services. Now I've mentioned this before, but I'm sorry for repeating, but you can have 9 hours off, right? The first hour you can have a wash, do what you got to do, and have something to eat, and kick your ass on that bunk, and you can have 8 hours. A good decent night, unless you're unfortunate enough to have some cockeyed fucker with a fridge van, and he that fucking thing growling down your ear hole all night, then you're screwed. Again, I mean, there ought to be a fucking rule on those things, you know what I mean? There's somewhere where they should be put, you know what I mean? So that obviously drivers who are tramping out on a services can have a night's sleep. Like one of those things parked up round their ear holes. But does that ever come into a consideration? It doesn't, does it really? And I suppose there's been a bunch of trampers out there that will probably contest to that and say, yeah, well, you know, you're parked there, you're just fucking nodding off, and somebody pulls up with a right down your fucking, whoa, what? And I'm trying to get back to sleep, and I'm like, well, how does the fucking dick who's driving this thing, how does he sleep? I'll tell you how he sleeps, mate. He's got 2 sets of earplugs, fucking earmuffs, a fucking big hat round his head, and he's like there, like a zombie, monged inside. He's took probably some fucking, I don't know, sleeping pills or something stupid, probably what he's done. But why is it slowing down this now? Do not use, well, we know that, it says red X, right? It's not a fucking formula for cleaning out your exhaust system on your car or your inlet or outlet valve. It's blocking the lane off. It says don't use it. But there's nothing there, look! What the fuck? It must be miles away. Oh well. You have to abide by these things. Don't be a monkey and drive down the fucking line when it's got an X on it. You have to stay out. And so far, I'm still having people overtaking me, even though it's fucking 40 miles an hour! Oh look, there you go, look, see? There's the danger. Can you imagine coming down here at 50 odd miles an hour and slamming into the back of that? It wouldn't be very pretty, would it? No. It'd be a right mess. Well, we're alright now anyway. We can move back over again. Sticking my foot down. Unbelievable. Cons. Fucking cons. Like, this just is just... The cons on driving, realistically, seriously outweigh the pros. And I honestly... Well, it does in my eyes, my opinion anyway. It really does. But I mean, for all the cons, the one pro, the driving bit, for me, outweighs them all. That's what I look at. It's the driving. I love driving. Driving's fun. Until some dipshit fucks it up for you. What else can we think of? I don't think there's any more. I am still thinking of pros as well, by the way. I'm not just thinking of cons, you know what I mean? I am trying to find something that says, oh, this is a good idea. No, can't think of anything. No. Itchy nose. Oh yeah, fuck yeah. We all understand that you have to have rules and regulations, health and safety, to do a job. Because jobs are dangerous, right? From the mundane, simple, to the most testicle jobs, they are dangerous. A job, in its fundamental reasoning of it, is a dangerous activity, right? This is why they have rules and regulations and health and safety. So, from being a fucking saddler, a cobbler, a locksmith, driver, policeman, soldier, whatever job you have, it's dangerous. Obviously the danger will vary from fucking extreme down to not too bad, you might lose a finger, right? From losing your life to losing a finger or breaking a bone. That can happen. Being a machinist, the worst instance with a machinist, you can lose your life being a machinist, believe it or not. Being a centre lathe or a fucking capstan operator, you can lose your life being an operator of one of those machines. You might think I'm fucking talking daft now. No. You've got fucking what they always state when you're using a centre lathe or a capstan, don't have long sleeves. Right? Up to the wrist, yes, but make sure they're tightened up. They don't sag or drag or flop. Oh no, you can't have any of that. When it is doing that sort of crap, you used to put elastic bands around your overalls to keep them out the fucking way. Or better still, just roll your sleeves up. That's the easiest way to fucking do it. Roll your sleeves up. Keeps that out of the way. You don't have long hair around drills. Long hair and drills don't mix. You end up bald. It's as simple as that. Or scalped. Like an Indian does it. You know what I mean? The cowboys and Indians jobby. Dangerous work. You ain't really going anywhere, mind you, but it's still dangerous. It can cause an injury. Anything can. Using guillotines. Woohoo! You can lose your life using one of them and all. So, same principle. Driving a truck, you can lose your life. Still can't find any fucking pros yet. But if you're sensible, Jace, you won't. Correct. Now try and find as many sensible drivers as you possibly can. Well, now I am. Are you? Can you attest to that? At least I try to be anyway, you know what I mean? Sometimes I might make a little bit of a boo-boo. I'm not perfect, nobody is. But I don't make a boo-boo, they kill somebody. Honestly can't think of any more pros, sorry. I'm still trying. I suppose, let's say if you was I think they now, I'm not 100% sure on this, right? So you'll have to let me know. Just, you know, stick a little comment down below saying, no, Jace, it's this company or it's called this. But isn't there something like called stage 2 that the drivers, they deliver or set up or assemble or whatever, or all three in the fucking back category of the gig setups for the staging and shit like that? So there's a pro in that respect, that you'll meet fucking famous people. Now you're going to turn and say, no, Jace, you set it all up, and then you go, and then they come. Damn it. But I do know that one of our ex-drivers, who did work for a catering company in the HGV world, because there was big kitchens he said tow around, and there was either in Rigids or Arctics, and they've met all kinds of actors and actresses. So there's a pro, I suppose, if you've had that type of job. I wouldn't mind that. Meeting different... Do you know what? If there was a case of that kind of job where it would be worthwhile being a tramper and then going off and, you know, on location and whatever, blah, 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 then that's a pro, because there's a benefit to it. You know what I mean? You get to meet some famous people. Hi. And I'm back. So, you know, there'll be that kind of thing. Obviously, that depends on the job you're obviously going to get, or want to go for, or try to get, if it's available. I don't know. Maybe you're a petrol head. I know it might seem a bit stupid, but you become a car transporter, and you find the enjoyment of loading the cars on and taking the cars off, and loading the cars on and taking the cars off, loading the cars on, taking the cars off, loading the cars. I wasn't taking the piss. But you might be lucky enough to be one of these car transporters that have got enough miles under your belt to be let loose to put high performance cars on your car transporter. You know what I mean? There's a pro. Again, specific job, but hey-ho, they are out there. You might like to wallow in shit, so you could be the bloke who goes sucking out fucking cesspits with your tanker, because you haven't got no sense of taste or smell. You'd be perfect for that job, honestly. You're there. Oh, fresh air this is, mate, no problem. It's like, and people are like green at the gills and you know what I mean, that kind of thing. But you're there fucking sucking it in all day long. No wonder you fucking cuckoo on that shit. But hey, if you're going to work in those kind of specific jobs, you have to be talented in certain ways. Oh well. Yeah. I mean, what do you do? Well, oh. Anyway, me trying to promote driving, I think it's failed, don't you? Oh yes, become a lorry driver. It's fun. You see the countryside on a fucking motorway. Countryside. It's gone. What was that? Oh, it's gone. Possible pro. You could visit somewhere on your jolls, right, and think, I could come here on my own personal time and investigate thoroughly. You know what I mean? Like there's certain places I want to get to, but I haven't got my fucking bike back yet. They're still fucking trying to fix the damn thing. Oh no, don't even go there. They've had it since fucking Wednesday. It's a 10th now. They've had it since the 5th. I know. And I haven't had a phone call either, which is rather disconcerting. I am feeling rather concerned that I haven't had a phone call to say, well, we're doing your bike, and it's fine. And the cost is now £1,000. Fuck off! I don't know. I just don't know. Don't know. I just don't fucking know. Help! Can you please give me some help? I mean, is there a reason why you like driving? Why you decided to become a lorry driver? Me, it's because it was another job. It wasn't because I went, I want to drive a lorry. No, it's just an opportunity that was handed to me in a sense, or presented to me in a certain fashion. Why don't you try this? Oh, you know what I mean? That's pretty much what I did. I mean, it wasn't like, I'm going to be a lorry driver. I'm going to be... No, what none of that shit. I have been fascinated with life. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have liked them. And when I was younger, I actually had to go out driving a couple round the yard. And I enjoyed that. That was fun. That was when I was about 18. But, I wouldn't mind having a good drive one of these. I never did when I was younger. Never bothered, not even when I was 21. I never really got round to it. I was too busy doing other things. Oh yeah. You'll have to tell me. Just say, I wanted to drive a lorry since I was this big. I did because my daddy did it. He took me out everywhere. You know what I mean? Could be that one. Could be that reason. I don't know. For the Rock and Bike Festival, go that way, apparently. Oh, is that what it was? Sounded a bit weird then, didn't it? I do like your helmet, Sunshine. That is very good. What about tattooed on me thing? Another con for you. Food. There will be times where you won't have a chance to eat. Unless you're a tramper and you've got your junk box down here somewhere. So you'll end up eating shit. Unless you've got more discipline than I've got and you can corral that crap. I wish I fucking could. I tell you, I'm doing my head in if you're prone to getting fat, this is not the job for you, because you will literally go. You'll be using your belly button as a fucking as a steering wheel. You know, honestly. Made me laugh. There was one of a lad that I took out with me, right, years ago now, and he was. I think he used to do a lot of crosser riding bikes, like, you know, the scramblers and shit like that. He used to do a lot of that, and he was reasonably fit-ish, right? Wasn't overweight, but through the years of becoming a truck driver, he went from around about, say, 14 and a half up to about 20 plus stone, like, you know, like, dude, you need to fucking sort that shit out. But, you know, this is what happens. Sorry, but it does if you ain't careful. There's many lorry drivers out there, they've probably started off being as skinny as a rake, they end up being as fat as a fucking grapefruit. You know, it's, yeah. See, this is another thing you have to put up with as well. In front of us there, we have a guy with a little flatbed pickup thing, right? And he's doodling up this fucking road at 45 miles an hour. It's a 70 mile an hour road, and this dipshit, well, actually doing less now because I'm catching up with these, so. But that's another con. You have to put up with, ooh, what can you call them other than cock boxes? Platted prick, right? I mean, fucking Strala, honestly, fucking pasta pot. Fucking Scotch egg, shift yourself. You know what I mean? You just can't win with these people. Can I get round, do you think? I might just be able to squeak it. There is no physical reason why this dude should be doing fucking 45 miles an hour. Unless he's worried about those wooden panels making a little extension on the back of his thing, flapping off somewhere because he hasn't got them secured properly. There's always that. But why the fuck should we suffer for his tardiness? Are you enjoying it so far? Are you having fun? It's great, ain't it? We are on this wonderful road called the A38. I like this stretch of the road, I do. I think it's fun. Because it's like the you're getting home kind of road, like, you know, you're nearly there now, you've only got X amount of time left. I think from the motorway down to this about an hour and 15, 20 minutes was. But because these fucking things are so poxy slow, it's not that much, it's a bit more now. So, but I mean, you know, you just have to put up with it, do what you can, take it as it comes. Bum, ba-dum, bum. Now, if I told you that I'm doing 60 miles an hour, would you believe me? And the reason why I didn't flash this cock in is because he's just gone past me at 65. And then stacked on his brakes and decided to indicate in. Unreal. I am so sick of this fucking bottle squeaking. I am. It's getting my fucking Swede. nothing but all the time I've been in the fucking truck. Why? Why do I have to put up with this shit? Another con. If you have this particular like niggle with sounds, right? Especially those little irritating clicks or cracks or creaks. Again, truck driving is not for you. Because the cab will be full of them. Rattles, knocks, clunks, bangs. So you have to have the stereo up at such a volume that realistically, you know, it's like being in a fucking concert. Or a discotheque. Yeah, I did say discotheque. I ain't going to change it. Oh dear. Get ready for the horn blow. No, doesn't want to do it. Sometimes you see they do wave. If they wave, I would have put the horn on the go, but because they're going to be bothered, fuck them. Don't care. Miserable. But there's another con for you, right? You have to be aware of people on the bridges, and if you do see somebody on the bridge, right, regardless to whether they're walking across it, make sure you keep an eye on them, because they could be malicious fuckers and have an object in their hands and go lob, right? And if they do that and it hits your windscreen, that's gonna fucking hurt, right? Or worst case scenario, end your life and somebody else. And that has happened. It's not as if it hasn't. See, there's all these things you have to be aware of. Do they ever teach you this shit? No, of course not. I'm fucking sick of this thing. Really keeps shoving the fucking exhaust brake on for no reason. Oh, that's why, because he's going 50 fucking 4 instead of 53. Honestly, this thing, the exhaust brake comes on if it goes past 53. It's ridiculous. Ghosty. Got a ghosty. Not that you've seen that, by the way, because my face is in the way. The trials and tribulations of being a lorry driver, the things that you have to put up with, the things that you wish you didn't have to put up with, the multitude of times that you question yourself, why the fuck did I bother? It's like, I should have stayed in bed today. I'd have had a fucking easier life. Those kind of scenarios. And yes, you won't just have one, you will have fucking umpteen dozen of them. Yeah, I don't want to do it today, I can't be arsed. I know I get fed up and depressed sometimes, like, and pissed off and all the rest of that shit that goes with it. But I know a driver that's actually, who's stopped driving through depression. I don't think driving was the sole cause of it, mind you, but it didn't fucking help. I think a few other things in his life came to a point where I can't do it, and that's the end of it, right? So he was shoving a load of pills in his neck to try and get himself balanced again. But here's another thing: you can get to you. You can get extremely frustrated. It can piss you off, especially when, like I say, your day goes well, but at the latter part of your day, it just goes all the way fucked, right? But it's out of your control. There's nothing you can do about it. You're fucked. You're done. End of. And this X amount of time that you had left to get back to the yard, which you would have done with at least 10 minutes spare, you're fucked now, because you're stuck in a traffic jam. Oh, which is all well and good with today's tacos, but with the older models, no, it's not. And we got plenty of the old models, trust me. The difference between driving this particular model, the newer version with the newer tacos in, and the old ones we've got, I can do the same job in the different trucks. The older one will do around about 6.5 hours driving, where the new one will end up doing less than 4.5 hours driving. Work that one out. Oh, that's why, because the old one robs time off you, whereas the newer ones don't. Now you would have thought, right, because here's another con for you, that if you're going to do something like digital tacos, that they would be a little bit more responsive. It's run by a computer, as it so happens. Aren't they supposed to be fucking smart? So when they first come out, I really personally think that when they first did these fucking stupid digital taco things, I think it was a rush job. They just thought, oh, better make them quick because somebody's complained, blah blah blah, it's got to be done this way. So there's some boffins out there decide they'll do it this way, that's it, blah blah, but they never took into consideration for traffic, stopping at lights, stopping at islands, blah blah blah. And every time you stop, it then rounds up to the next minute. So you've just lost fucking X amount of seconds on that minute, so then it starts again. I'm like, if they really sat and thought about it and tested it and kept testing it, they would have found that fault straight away, wouldn't they? And gone, we can't put these in just yet. Why is that, mate? It's because the guy there who's been testing it has just moved, shunted forward 20 times and he's covered 25 feet, and yet he's done 22 minutes driving. What? How the fuck has he done that? Well, because he stopped and started within the fucking switching over of crosshammers and steering wheel. Really? Oh no, we can't. That's a waste of time, that is. But now we had to suffer that shit. Thankfully, years later, not a 5-minute thing, but years later, they decided that, well, hang on, if we're trying to prosecute people with this, if they got a fucking head on their shoulders and go, well, my digital taco is defrauded straight away as soon as I put it in the machine. Why is that, sir? Because it's a falsifying my work routine that I'm doing. It's not an exact replication of what I'm doing. So it's not true to the fucking form, is it? You know what I mean? It's got to be a representation of what you do. Well, it's not a representation of what I'm doing. Because I've only done 3.5 hours driving, but my taco is telling me I've done 5 hours driving. Oh well, I'll fucking tell you now. I've been in that scenario before now. Fucking really bad, that is. Why? Shit truck, very old, crap taco, stop for hours. Not just for a few minutes, I want about hours. I know full well the distance I travelled would only take about 2.5 hours. And that's how much drive time I actually did do. But stop, choose all your drive away. But like I say, the newer ones today, they're nice, they're good, them are. They actually save you time. So if you're driving down the road, you come to a point where you have to stop. Now I'm still a bit fuzzy on which way they've done this. I can't remember if it's 12 seconds or 29 seconds, but I think it's 29, but you'll have to let me know. I've never really bothered looking up on it because it doesn't really make any difference to me. But it does save you time. So if you move then stop literally a few seconds after, you're not going to lose a minute, or at least those seconds to the next minute. It rolls back to the previous minute. So tick 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 all the way down to 29, you go back up to that first minute again. Whereas originally you go tick 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 stop, round to the next minute. And I wonder where all that fucking drive time kept disappearing to. Fuck. oh no, it doesn't take this long to get here, what the fuck? You know what I mean? That scenario. But they did, sound of minds prevailed eventually. It took a while, but eventually. And the newer ones are a lot better. Which is obvious. It's what it, but it, the thing is that really annoyed me is that the analog tacho didn't do that in the first place. So why they would replace it with an inferior device is how I looked at it, because I never had an issue with the tacho cards, never did. Well, but I can't tell you that story because that just on the grounds I may incriminate myself. Anyway, but as in regards to losing drive time because of stop start shite, I never had an issue with that. But when the digital tacho turned up, all of a sudden we're having drive time issues, losing time because of you stopping and starting and stopping and starting. Is there anything else we can talk about? Are you enjoying yourself, Bob? Oh dear. Look, we're at the Derby 3. Isn't this wonderful? Stick it in manual, let's give it a bit of a thrap. Let's get up this hill. Because this particular one has not got the balls. It's as if all the grunt's been took out of it. Right then, we'll get past this lot, hopefully without too much hassle, too much of a junction snugglers, you know what I mean? These ones that block it all up for you. It's like called people in cars and other vehicles as well. It should be alright, I should imagine. Can't see why not. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. What do you mean it'll be fine? Of course it'll be fine. We know this. I'm watching to see what Mr. HGV does now, because there is a junction right here. Cars are coming, but there's a vehicle alongside me, so I've got to step it off a little bit. See, these are the things that I'm always aware of. Knowing that there's a slip road there, being aware of the traffic around me, right, knowing how to respond to said traffic, makes for a nice, enjoyable drive without any fuck-ups. Oh dear. I don't know where it came from. I don't know what I was doing, but I was looking through the YouTube videos the other day. I think it was on Saturday, I think, possibly Sunday, I'm not sure now. And I'd stumbled across one about I'll tell you what, I don't. This is going to be fucking dodgy. This I can see coming. It's to do with the TV license, and I've been watching a few today as well, as I've been waiting to get loaded and what have you. Well, waiting to go on a bike to get loaded anyway. And I'll be honest with you, it was scary. Absolutely scary. And the reason why I say this is because when I was watching this particular video of these two fucking idiots knocking on the door saying we want to check to see if you've got a TV, I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, fuck me, this actually happened to me, this did. Now, when I first moved into my house, right, I didn't have a TV, but I went, like most people do, to the shop and bought one. Well, back then, at the shop where you bought TVs from, they had a form that you had to fill in to sign up for a TV licence. You had no choice. You couldn't purchase the TV unless you filled in the form in for the TV licence, which I did. I thought TV licence, whatever. So I did. Within a week of actually being in this house, this guy turns up at my door and he asked about the TV licence. And as I open the door, he just steps into my house and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm here to inspect for your TV licence. And I'm like, yeah, I've got it here. And we're in the kitchen. I'm like, this ignorant fucktard barged into my home without permission. I never even let the fucker in. He just walked straight into me. I'm like, what the fuck? And he wasn't intimidating, chap. He was about 6'4", this fucker was, like, you know. But I hadn't realised, and he asked who it is. Alright, and off he went. But what I don't understand is how the fucking hell did he know that that I'd had a TV and a licence within a week of moving into the fucking house? I don't get it. I really don't get it. I was flabbergasted, but it only come across my mind when I was watching these videos of these people being harassed by the fucktards, I can call them, I suppose, that go around checking that you've got a TV licence. And obviously over the years I've taken out, so I always pay for my TV licence anyway. And but as you get older and a little bit wiser, right, you tend to then start to question these things, you know, like TV licence. Why is it a TV licence? What makes the money that I pay to the British Broadcast Centre or Communications or whatever the fucking word C stands for, cunt maybe, big bobbly cunts, I don't know, but anyway, why is it called a TV licence? I understand why they call it a CB licence when you have a radio, a CB radio for talking over the wires. You have to have a licence for that, even though I still don't understand why you'd need one. It doesn't make any fucking difference to me. But because I used to be a CB back in the day, I had a CB licence. It didn't cost a fat lot. But anyway, that was for a specific thing for talking over the airwaves, right? That's what the licence was for. That's what it was, broadcasting over a short distance in a certain frequency band range, blah blah blah. But what does an actual TV licence mean? And I've thought about this on and off through the years. What is a TV licence? Because I don't know what a TV licence is. As far as I understand the terminology between the definition of TV licence would mean you need to have a licence to own a TV, right? So in that respect, because you now own a licence for a TV, what then broadcasts into that TV, what you receive, the money that you pay should then get diverted off to all the channels that you receive. But it doesn't. It only goes to the British broadcast, right? That's all it goes to, right? It doesn't go anywhere else. It just goes to the BBC. So, in that respect, aren't they misrepresenting what they call the TV licence? Isn't that a misleading title of what the money's for? Because if it was for a TV licence, that would mean that the transmissions that you receive, you're paying for all of them, every one. 1, 2, Channel 3, Channel 4 and Channel 5. You're paying for them all. But you're not. The amount of shit that the BBC spew out in the first place, well, that's just it, ain't it? Shit. I mean, I ask this question when it comes to that kind of lark. If it wasn't for the fact that I would have these greasy grebo bastards knocking on my door going, where's your TV licence? We want to come in and check to make sure you can't receive broadcasting. When every single device that you have in your fucking possession these days can receive television fucking broadcasts, right? I'm like, what the fuck? It just seems to me a bit of a bully tactics as far as I'm concerned, and also misleading, because you're saying it's a TV licence, but only the BBC get the money. What about all the other channels? I say this realistically, right? The BBC should become either commercialised or subscribable. Personally, I wish there was an option to choose whether I wanted it or didn't want it, and I would choose for don't want it. I watch Netflix, right? That's what I watch. I watch YouTube. I got fucking Amazon. I do that. But 9 times out of 10, I'm playing fucking Call of Duty or something stupid or whatever. I mean, or doing something silly like that. But I can't remember the last time I actually watched BBC. I don't even listen to the radio. When the radio's on, 9 times out of 10, it's some commercial radio. It's not BBC radio. The only time I listened to the BBC radio was when Chris Miles was on. But as soon as he was 80-60 from the place, I haven't listened to the BBC ever since, because it's a share of shite as far as I'm concerned. Fucking wank. Proper crap. The amount of times that they would put some programme on the BBC channel, for me, for just for an example, Buffy the Vampire Slayer or Angel, right? Just as two, or even Deep Space Nine or some Star Trek shit like that, right? The series would probably have, say, 20 plus episodes, but you can guarantee you'd see probably 6 weeks worth, and then they'd turn it off and put fucking snooker on. Who gives a fuck about snooker? I don't. But I was enjoying my series that I was watching, that I pay my fucking money for. I don't want to watch snooker. Fuck it off. But I can't say anything about that. I've got no choice in the matter, right? They keep fucking spewing out EastEnders crap. You might like EastEnders, that's your opinion, you can stick to it. I will admit this, right? Back in the day, in the 80s, when the EastEnders first started in 1984, it was an enjoyable show, and I enjoyed it. I can't argue, I liked it. It was great fun. I didn't go out my way every fucking day. I always watched the omnibus on the Sunday when I was having my Sunday dinner, right? With the rest of us, that's when I used to watch it, like, you know, because it was something to watch while you're chewing. But I never stepped out my way and go, oh, fuck, I'm going to get out of EastEnders on. Now I'm having a fucking dicky fit because I'm fucking 2 minutes late watching the fucking credits going up the screen. Now, if I missed it, oh well, who cares? Because the fucking following day, you'd soon catch up anyway, right? Because the fucking thing's on every day of the week. That show should have been fucking axed in 1989. End of. Or may even be fucking more, that to be fair. No, it's still fucking going. The BBC's licence still fund that shite. They never put anything on that's any good. If they do, it gets fucking cancelled because the fucking actors give up. I've had that before now. But no, I mean, I lost all faith in the fucking our terrestrial TV anyway. Realistically, and I moved over onto the Sky stuff and what have you. So at least, yes, I'm paying 3 times the amount of money. Right, I pay a fucking fortune for my TV stuff. I do a fucking fortune. TV license, Sky subscription, fucking Netflix, Amazon. Fucking shitloads of money gets paid out for viewing TV. But the one that I pay that I don't use is the fucking BBC's TV license, which realistically isn't a TV license. How they can get away with calling it a TV license in the retail realm of things, it's like calling a pair of socks underpants. You know what I mean? Yes, granted, you might be able to get your sack in one and your cock on the other one, but you'd look a bit stupid, wouldn't you? It wouldn't really benefit you. You know what I mean? But that's exactly what the principle is. They're calling it a TV license when it actually isn't a TV license. So then you have these fucking thugs that knock your door, harassing the piss out of you, and who get a commission every time they have you sign up. Because they threaten you with all sorts of crap. Well, they can't, but they do. But like I say, I'll pay for mine. Mine gets done by direct debit. Every month. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. I'm feeding that fucking cesspool. Because, unfortunately, they've got more money than I have, and if I don't, and they come to my property, they'll have the police there, all sorts, warrants and all that kind of crap, which I really do believe that if any judge out there is that low that he would sign a warrant for a corporation to be allowed access into somebody's home, I mean, that is fucked up, that is, isn't it, really? I mean, if I was a judge and they came to me saying we want access, I'll go fuck yourself. Who do you think you are? You have no right to do that. This is the wrong place, mate. It's civil court. You can ask them to come to civil court, but if they don't turn up, that's entirely up to them. If they're not receiving, and you've got no evidence that says they're receiving, then I'm afraid you're stuck. But no, apparently, they can make this shit up. Oh well. Especially when you see these videos on YouTube, it just cracked me up. I tell you, I was like, fucking hell, this is like scary stuff. This is. I mean, you can imagine the amount of people who are seriously intimidated by this, and these people that actually go around doing those kind of things. I mean, they ought to be ashamed of themselves. They really ought to be ashamed of themselves. Well, whatever. Unbelievable. But it, like I say, it just, when I was just perusing and I'd seen something about I think the title on it was something like TV licenses harassed by something. I don't. It was some guy who was being, threatened and what have you about his TV and told that he's got to prove that he's not streaming and whatever, even though we didn't really have to. But and that's why it sparked that memory of that arsehole that come to my house and just barged in, fucking walked past me. Where's your TV? What the fuck do you want to do with TV license? And I had to fucking ferry around with me lights. I mean, I didn't even know where the fucking thing was. It took me about 5 or 10 minutes to fake it all out. Well, here it is, like I found it, like, thinking, and seeing this on YouTube, I'm like, fuck me, this happened to me literally almost 20 years ago. So they're still at it, apparently. Yeah. But I think there should be something in the law of misrepresentation, whereas they say it's a TV license when it actually isn't a TV license. It doesn't even come close to being a TV license because it doesn't cover the scope of actually the whole system of what a TV does, as in receiving transmissions. Doesn't do it. Doesn't cover that. So that might be something to think about. I don't know. Maybe there's a precedent there somewhere. They could be held accountable for false advertisement, because that's what it is. It's false advertisement. Oh well. I just hope that they die of a horrible disease, you know, these kind of people, because they're just low lives at the end of the day. They really are. They're just fucking, they're a waste of oxygen. They're not out to actually fucking help people. They're there for one reason out, to make money and make people's lives miserable at the same time. So you have to just fucking do what I do and put up and shut up. That's what I say. If you want a peaceful life, if you've got the balls to get on with it and say no, fuck you, I'm not doing it, prove it, then you have the hassle then of having a fake, as well it's got to be a fucking fake court order that's been manipulated by false fucking evidence to allow them access into your property, escorted with police, that realistically can't do anything, right, but it's just there to intimidate you even more. When I'm like, this is just insane, really insane. And I tell you, honestly, sometimes I wish I never watched fucking certain videos, honestly, because it really gets me fucking riled. It's like, it's nightmare stuff. It's the stuff that will keep you awake at night just by watching them. I'm telling you now, really is. It's just scary. Absolutely scary. Do it. Go and have a click on the old fucking YouTube, search TV licensing on YouTube, and you'd be amazed at the fucking tricks that they pull. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting behaviour. So they beat you to death with bullshit, so that you end up submitting and paying your TV licence. And they're happy because they get paid because you're paying. You know what I mean? They get commission. Wrong. Absolutely wrong. And I'm a fool because I'm fucking paying into it. But until somebody somewhere is smart enough with the law that can turn around and stand up with unequivocal evidence to state that they are misrepresenting themselves, and the tactics that they are using is basically breaking the law, actually breaking the law, and that they get prosecuted. And again, if I was a judge, I would say to them, right out, enough's enough. So we are having this no more. BBC people, you've got two options. You either commercialise your channel, or you go subscribe, so that people then can choose. That's the two options you've got. Like it or lump it, that's it. And then no more TV licence at all. And the BBC would come crashing down. Fucking hell. It wouldn't half. It'd be like a fucking avalanche it'd come crashing down that quick. That'd be hilarious. I'd love to see that day. I really would. Fucking hell. Sore subject, I think, to be honest, for some people out there. It ain't half. But to think that I had actually already purchased my licence, and that this cock decided to force his way into my home, out of order. Way out of order. But to think it's still going on. Fucking unbelievable. It's probably, I wouldn't be surprised if it's even worse than now, than it was back then. But I remember it was only one guy, and now these fucking cotton gobblers are going round in twos. Oh dear, unbelievable. Never mind, not to worry. See, in life there is those shitty sticks that you have to hang on to. You know what I mean? You have to stomach the stench and the dirt and the filth over your hands because you are literally powerless in being able to stand up for yourself, because unfortunately most of us Joe Blogs out there, we don't know the law. Now if we all went and took the law and studied it for years and they come to your door with these bogus bullshit that they would have, you could then say no, you are not allowed in here, and you could probably then even stand up to the police to put the foot in the doorway and stop you from closing the door, because I'm sure there should be a law against the police doing that, because then they are aiding the corporation then to gain access to your property, aren't they? They should only be there as a witness to make sure that nothing goes wrong. They should not be there to hold the fucking door open. It's not up to them. So, you know, and if they're saying that this is their investigation and they're the one who's holding the warrant and you don't want to let them in, the police should be actually powerless to fucking do anything about it, because it's not a police investigation. I don't know. I mean, I don't know where you stand with that one. It just seems a bit odd to me, because it's not a criminal act anyway. At least I don't think it is. I mean, it's a business. You're having nothing from that business. You're getting nothing from that business, and yet you've got to pay them for getting nothing. I wish I had a fucking job like, well, a company like, but I could take money off people and then prosecute them for not giving me money. Wow, I'd be a fucking billionaire within a month. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? Well, that's what they're doing when you think about it. And what makes me laugh is the police officers that come to these people's doors, they're victims too, and yet they obviously don't realise it or don't really care. Oh no, I pay my TV licence. Yes you do, officer, but you do realise you're paying into that pocket and nobody else's. You're fucking advocating for these lot. I know, and I am as well, unfortunately. But it's for a peaceful life without being harassed, and I am glad that I did it when I did all those years ago, because knowing that these goons can come to your house and harass the fucking shit out of you is unbelievable. I honestly can't see how the law can stand there and say, oh, you've got to pay. What the fuck? If you are in agreement to the service that's being provided, then fair enough. But if you don't want that service at all, then surely you should say, sorry, I don't want to pay for it, don't want it, just don't send it down my TV. Am I wrong? Fucking, oh dear me. It's just scary, fucking scary. Unbelievable. But all in all, round it off, even though it's called a TV licence, realistically that is not what it is. Not at all. The BBC do not own the TVs, right? So as far as I'm concerned, it's not a TV licence, and it should not be called a TV licence. It should be called what it is: British Broadcasting Fund, that you have no choice but you've got to pay, or you'll get fucked by people who will harass you until you do pay and send you to court and cause all sorts of aggravation, where you, even if you win the court case, you still end up having to pay court costs because they don't pay them, you end up paying them, which I don't get that. I thought if you won a case, you have the people who brought the charges on you because they lost, they're supposed to pay. Apparently not. I may have misunderstood it, but I think that's what it came across as. Weird. I don't get that. Unfortunately, this is the strange and wonderful world we live in. Oh look! Lichfield! Woohoo! Fradley Park! And the time is 7:10. 13 hours and 10 minutes. Well, actually 13 hours at the moment. It'll be fucking 14 gone by the time I get back in the yard. But hey, whatever. Long day. Oh yes. Long day. There is quite a few things I would love to really have a good old dig at and chat about, but I don't want to because on the fear of being harassed or fucking, you know, somebody turning around going, oh, we're going to get you sort of thing. Oh no. I know I won't get any repercussions about talking about the BBC crap and the so-called TV licence bullshit because I pay for mine. So I've got no comeback and I can't, because I pay, I can say, if you like, in that makes sense. Right? I have got a choice to speak my mind about it, but I do pay. As much as I disagree with it, I do pay. If I remember rightly, because I'm not even sure that BBC America, I don't even think that comes underneath the British. Is that? I don't fucking know. Does BBC America come under something? I don't know. Not sure. Do we pay for that as well? So yeah, I know that's out there. There's other BBC thingamajigs out there, aren't there? So is there a? I don't know. I remember hearing something like that. But anyway, like I say, I pay so I can say. I disagree with it wholeheartedly. There's nothing on there that really interests me, so I don't bother. And when I get home, I'll either be on my computer doing my videos, or I might stick YouTube on and flick through that, because there's a lot more interesting shit on YouTube that I can then determine whether I want to carry on watching it or not. And there's a gazillion fucking channels on YouTube to watch. And if I don't want to subscribe to it, I don't. But I can still fucking watch it. You know what I mean? Makes no freaking difference. I don't know. But you'd have thought by now, in this day and age, with the wonderful way of technology, that you should have a choice, right? That you should be able to choose, right? If you want to watch something, you watch it and pay for it. If you don't want to watch it, then don't. Where is the argument in that? Where's the problem in that? Would be a lot fairer. I think they should make every TV channel available, accessible, in the whole wide world. Click. Oh, you must insert X amount. Okay. Brilliant. Done. Problem solved. Ah, good grief. I wonder what crap I've got tomorrow. Will I be doing something like... I just paused mid-sentence there because this motorcycle I'm now driving past was there this morning. Very strange. Is it a stolen bicycle? Or is it somebody that's broke down and forgot where they fucking left it? I can't find my bike! I was driving down here, it went clunk, and I pulled it in here, and it was between a blue sign and a tree. Do you know what road it was on? A tarmac one. Fucking, you know what I mean? Hey, trust me. Or more than likely, he's still at work because he had to hoof it because he broke down, and he ain't got a chance or anybody who can come and give him an assist. That's probably more likely true, isn't it? You know what I mean? Because he's the sad thing, right? We've probably all been in a similar situation at one point. If you've got a bike, right, you've got 2 tyres, you don't carry a fucking spare. So if you get a flat, you're a bit fucked, aren't you? That's why you have to have breakdown cover when you're a bike list. Right, and then you can have somebody come out and either fix your puncture or take your You know what I mean? Or to the nearest garage where you can get a new tyre put on or something. So, yes. But if you can't afford that cack, well, it's a different story then. Then you've got to wing it. Do what I used to do when I was a kid with my 50cc, push the fucking thing. But a 50cc, granted, is far lighter than an XJR fucking 1300. I know that when the fucking thing had me catapulted over onto the floor when it fell over. The bastard thing did. Granted, I put it down gently. There was no damage made or had, but yes, it caught me unawares, and once it was on its way, you ain't stopping that fucking thing. It's an absolute mauler of a bike. Anyway, so yeah, there is that, I suppose. It just seems strange it's still there. Ooh, we're getting closer, we're getting closer. It took as long as I thought it'd take, to be honest with you. Even though I went the sort of longer way round, which is easier when you're carrying this fucking lot. Saves a bit of fuel, that's for sure. More than this thing up hills, fuel, out it goes. On the flat, just doing this. Low revs, high speed. Well, milk float, slow speed, but you know, it's there. Constant cruise, like I'm doing now. But if you're in 10th gear doing fucking 1700 revolutions, that's burning fuel up the hill. Like 1.5 fucking miles to the gallon. That's how much you're doing. And some of those hills are about 2.5 miles long, so you know the fucking you know the maths on that one. Yeah, fuel gone out the window. But when you're just pootling all that with no gear changes, then everything's hunky-dory. It sits where it should be, in the green. Could you please just come down just one more gear? I'll do it. I'll drive. You stupid machine. Oomph me out the fucking danger point. See, now it's doing 1,000 revs, climbing up obviously, but it drops down to 1,000 revs, literally mauling its nuts off in 10th gear. It shouldn't really be there. It should be in 9th gear, especially the weight I'm carrying anyway. I can press this magic button, which is called pee. Have a pee, please, Bob. And what that does is it extends the gearbox range, I suppose. Would you call it a range? No, I wouldn't call it range. I suppose you can call it the depth of the gear. Instead of it going it goes stretches it a bit. You know what I mean? Gives it that bit of oomph. But then the fuel disappears. And besides, I don't get a fuel bonus anyway. Don't get one. No. What the fuck is a fuel bonus? All I get is zero. Nothing. Nada. Not a dick. Stupid. It's just pointless and unfair. It's unrealistic. All I've done today is pull heavy. That's it. I will say that I was light from Lichfield to Uttoxeter, but that was it. And then it was heavy up to Rotherham, Goldthorpe. And then it was light from Goldthorpe to Bradford. And now it's fucking heavy from Bradford back to the yard. So whatever fuel you saved in those light bits have now evaporated in this heavy bit. Unfair. Not worth it. It ain't worth the effort. Oh, look at that. I found another fucking column. Bonuses. Oh. Do you have any worthwhile bonuses, or do you have bonuses that are just an absolute waste of time? But you'll always have them handful of people in the company that always seem to achieve it. I'm sure they fiddle the fucking scores. But I am quite content in knowing full well that I will never ever be able to achieve it. So I'm not even going to fucking worry about it. Oh, fuck, my ass is killing me. Fuck me. Oh, I've got a subarm. It's really, really painful. Ooh. Can't wait to stand up. Stretch my old pins. Aye. What's this here now? Is this? Oh, I see. Oh, yeah. So I know that this is. I mean, I might be picking flies there, but they've parked their vehicle in a fucking bus stop, right? Now, granted, if they had the blue lights flashing, then fair enough, but they haven't, and it's parked in a fucking... Oh, I'll tell you what. Unbelievable. It's not supposed to be parked in a fucking bus lane. Now, they could find somewhere else to park, but not in a bus stop. Because if a bus is coming down there, then the bus is going to be parked on the fucking road, blocking the fucking road off. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. But like I say, if he had his blue lights flashing, because there was a legitimate reason for him to be there, then great. Happy days. Hey, told you, we're in a fucking topsy-turvy world, we are. It's upside down, back to front, and fucking every other which way up, apart from the right way up. Well, thankfully when I get back the shop will still be open. I fucking hope anyway. So I need to get food. It's 7:25 for those of you who want to know, on the 10th of July 2017. And tomorrow we'll have a day at the zoo. Unbelievable. It's nice, isn't it? Refreshing. I've got the blower on. It's blowing nice cold air on me. Even though it says on the dashboard 16 degrees, it seems to have like dropped all of a sudden. Might as well knock that off a bit then, haven't I? I'm getting a bit... But at least we had a sleep tonight though, because last night was wank. It was really warm. Halfway there I had to get up out of bed and go and furk out the fan and wrestle that in the bedroom, plug it in a, what's that, I mean, it had the window open and the fan blowing across me, like, you know what I mean, just to cool me down. But the problem is, because it's fucking noisy, it's hard to sleep. That thing is, I'm like, what the, and I'm supposed to sleep with that? Oh. I've nodded off a couple of times, but eventually I woke up, well, a couple of times, and I decided, fuck it, I've got to turn it off. So I just turned the fucking thing off. So I had a shit night's sleep, uninterrupted, well, not uninterrupted, mega interrupted. Have I just found another con? Oh, fucking stupid, ain't I? Oh man. Unbelievable. Oh well. Such is. They've gone on to red, them have. And you also have to put up with people, right, that see the signs in front of them but completely ignore them. It doesn't matter for the time being, but eventually you'll come past the signs, right, into the realm of now getting ridiculous. And yet, at the point where there's no return, they'll still try and overtake you. I've had that many a time. Originally though, right, this was a dual carriageway all the way down to this point. Right, honestly, it was. All the way down to here. And they decided to change it. The other side's okay, but, you know, what have you. Oh look, it's starting to rain again. Oh, oh good. Happy days. Who wants the fucking rain? I don't. Do you? Hey, there's another fucking thought. If you're a lorry driver and you've got a TV in your cab, how does that work? Because if you live in your cab, you haven't really got a fixed address, have you? Oh, I tell you what, I'm just making myself worse. I keep digging fucking bigger holes. It would be nice though, right, to actually have somebody out there with you know, who could just sit back and say, look, some of these rules that you're coming out with, they are fucking stupid. They make no sense at all. They're only there to benefit fucking big corporations. This is how to get around it, or this is how to prove that they are in the wrong themselves, and let's get fucking prosecuting, shall we? Can you imagine having a civil suit against the BBC of every single fucking licence holder? Fuck! Wouldn't that be amazing? It'd be hilarious, but it'd be amazing at the same time. It'd be in the billions. It'd be bye-bye BBC, go away, never ever come back and dirty our fucking airwaves ever again with your bullshit. Am I going on again? Sorry about that, I do apologise. I've paid, so I can say. I don't know, eh? Coming home now, look, and it starts to get shitty. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. I'll laugh my bollocks off if they've got me in for 5 o'clock. I'll be like, ha ha, that ain't happening. I might stroll in about 6:30, brain, coming in at fucking 5 o'clock. Oh man, man alive. That's it now, we're done. We're all almost here. We've just got to drive up and over this hump, round the island, down the road, round the bend, and we're in. Oh, and when we get to the gate, right, of our yard, please don't avert your eyes to the right of the gate. Where's he off to? That's all right then. Yeah, ignore the right of the gate, right? I've warned you, right? So when we get there, just please ignore the right-hand side of the gate. Take a notice. I mean, hopefully you won't notice anything anyway, or there might not be nothing to see. But I have warned you, so when I say close your eyes, please just close your eyes, okay? Okay, now close your eyes. No peeking, I've told you. You can't. No, you're not allowed. There is nothing wrong here. Nothing to see. Well, that's me done anyway. I'm going to go. So, yeah, happy days and all the rest of that shit that goes with it. And I'll speak to you a lot again. Have fun. Tell the people and all that. Bye. Go on then. Off you pop. Pop, poppity poppings.